for Granit Xhaka's vain attempt to get a free kick for diving, which fell on deaf ears. The referee, quite rightly, followed it up with a yellow. The corner comes in, and it's easily dealt with by Aaron Ramsdale. Grabs hold of it with both hands and then punts it long down the left-hand side up towards Jesus, trying to hold off the challenge of Doucouré. Now Xhaka. It's Jesus again. Now Zinchenko on the left-hand side, but he's been dispossessed by Jordan Ayew. The free kick has gone against Ayew, who just rammed into Xhaka. Free kick Arsenal. Crystal Palace giving a debut to Doucouré, who's been big and strong and looks the part in the midfield for Palace. He's going to guard that back four for sure this season. He's going to be that holding man. Still no McCarthy. He's out injured. They do have Milivojevic on the bench. Will Hughes as well on the bench as a midfield option, and Rijderveld as well, the former Ajax man. So Arsenal free kick wide on the left-hand side. Xhaka runs over it. Zinchenko delivers it, and Anderson jumps underneath it with the head up. It comes through to Saka. Saka gets a cross in. It's a dangerous-looking one as well. Thumped away by the head of Anderson. Nearly picked up by Saliba. Just rushed away from him off the shoulder, and Palace were able to clear. Hits Eze on the heel and falls nicely to Zaha. Back inside to Doucouré. Doucouré finding the right back Klein. Klein to Anderson on the edge of his own penalty area. Crystal Palace in the blue and white stripes and blue shorts, kicking towards their home fans away to our left, and Holmesdale ending this second half, and they, as always, have been making plenty of noise inside Selhurst Park. Here's Eze in a central position tonight, with Ayew and Zaha offering the width. Klein steps away from Martinelli and does well. The former Liverpool man, Klein, chips it down the line. Wasn't a very good ball. In behind the run of Schlupp and out for a throw-in to Arsenal. And we've played just coming up to 4.5 minutes in this second half. Arsenal in their change strip tonight. In fact, it's a third choice kit. It's a light pink and navy blue number. Light pink shirts, navy blue shorts, and pink socks. Here is Saliba. Nice out touch from Ødegaard. Zaha wins it back and then pinched forward by Mitchell. Xhaka with the touch in the midfield. Challenge coming in from Doucouré, but a foul. A free kick to Arsenal. 5 minutes gone. 50 minutes gone, so 5 minutes gone in the second half. Now Saka against Mitchell. Really good battle, this one. Saka in towards the feet of Jesus, and back to Ødegaard, tries to get the shot away, closed down very well by a combination of Mitchell and Guéhi, and that will be, I think, an Arsenal corner. Yes, indeed, it is. Arsenal corner. Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 1. The only goal of the game coming on 20 minutes from Gabriel Martinelli, a Brazilian, with the opener in the Premier League season. They've got a corner here and they're looking for a second, Arsenal. Corner will be looked in. They do have their own set-piece coach in Nicolas Jova, who is watching on from the technical area on the far side. This is a corner from the right-hand side. Saka swings it in. Good, powerful header from the dominant Anderson. It's not been fully cleared. It has now by Ayew into the feet of Zaha, who's hauled to the ground, but referee says play on. Ayew scooting over the halfway line, slightly right of centre. Away to his right, he's got Edouard. Edouard is surrounded by pink shirts, trying to weave in between two defenders. Those two defenders were party in white, and neither of those were in a mood for letting him through. But here's Zaha. It's a lovely ball from Zaha. Hits Eberechi Eze, and it's a good save from Ramsdale. What a ball from Zaha, and really Eberechi Eze should have scored there. Here's Zaha again, flicks it inside towards Schlupp and cleared away by Partey. But what a save from Ramsdale. Well, we criticised him for 2 poor touches in the first half, but he's followed it up by 2 great saves either side of half-time. And the ball to Eze from Zaha was a moment of magic. It was a beautiful, threading ball. It sliced open the Arsenal defence, and Eze was through on the left-hand side. He was onside. And, well, we'll get a look at that again now, because Gayhe's just slammed a long ball forward and straight out for a goal kick. But it was played inside by Klein. And here is the ball from Zaha. Just threaded it between the 2 defenders. Great ball. He was just onside Eze. And he went for the goal with the keeper to beat, as you would expect him to. He opened up his body and tried to rule it past. But Ramsdale got down, made a good save, made himself big. Here's Martinelli, the goal scorer, edge of the penalty area for Arsenal. Left-hand side for Jesus, trying to make room for the shot. Doesn't make room for the shot, though, and sent tumbling to the floor. Decore using his strength, and now here's Zaha down the left-hand side, motoring away, roared forward by the Holmesdale end, gets the cross in, did seem to strike the hand of White. No appeals from the on-field players. Don't think it would stand up to the test of VAR either, and Odegaard's clearance hits Mitchell and goes out for a throw-in to Arsenal. But certainly 1 or 2 questions being asked there by Crystal Palace, and it hit the feet of White and then bounced up and hit him on the hand whilst he was looking in the opposite direction. There's no intent there, and Arsenal managed to thwart Palace on this occasion. It's Crystal Palace trailing here by a 1-0. They're still very much in this with 53.5 minutes gone. Header away by Gayhe, picked up by Saka in a central position, but he can't bring it under control. Sticking his right foot up in the air to try and bring it down, but cleared away by Palace, all the way downfield for Ramsdale. He just bowls it out carefully to Gabriel. The Brazilian returns it to the England international goalkeeper, who's being watched by Gareth Southgate tonight. Saliba, nice play by the French international. Forward by Partey, hits the feet of Jesus, who always makes himself readily available. Like what he offers to this Arsenal side. Completely new dimension. It's a different Arsenal when he's playing. They need to keep him fit because he's going to score them goals and he's going to link a lot together. Here's Martinelli grabbing a chance to get forward down the left-hand side, but 3 Crystal Palace defenders all congregate on him. One of them was Anderson. In fact, it was Gayhe that got it away. Arsenal go again. Jesus has a look up, scoops it forward, finding Odegaard. Lovely little touch from him, but it was too close to Anderson, who just rams a volley down towards the halfway line with the right boot. Arsenal start again. Xhaka. And then Partey to Saliba. Now Saka cutting inside, and the fortune favoured Saka there with the touch that came back to him off of his teammate Odegaard, and then a foul by Mitchell, and Arsenal get themselves a free kick in a striking position maybe here. Let's have a little look at the replay, and it was Mitchell that wrapped his foot around his England international colleague and tripped Saka. And it's a free kick right of centre, well right of centre, but right on the edge of the box. It's going to be a really, really good strike to beat the goalkeeper from here. The Arsenal goalkeeper, sorry, I beg your pardon, the Arsenal captain, the new Arsenal captain, Martin Odegaard, is standing over the ball with Martinelli. The Crystal Palace goalkeeper, Gaeta, is just lining up his 3-man wall. It looks like it's going to be a delivery from Martinelli or a shot from Odegaard. It's going to be Odegaard. He's gone for goal, and that wasn't very far away. Whipped over the wall and whipped just half a yard wide of the top corner, with Gaeta scurrying across nervously, but I think he knew once he was on arrival at his left-hand post that the ball has gone wide for a goal kick. A goal kick which is taken quickly and taken short and not long by Gayhe, but straight into the chest of White. Crystal Palace have it back though with Mitchell, and it's a poor back pass from Mitchell all the way back to Gaeta. Has to scurry across and keep the ball in play, avoiding it from going out for a corner. Edouard feeding on scraps, comes to Eze, but Eze runs into White, who stood strong, gave it to Odegaard. Odegaard to Xhaka. His long ball forward is nodded away by Gayhe, but it goes behind, And it's going to be a corner to Arsenal. Good spell this from Arsenal, looking for their second goal, leading by a goal to nil. We're going to see a Crystal Palace change in a minute, and we're going to see that front change. I expected it, to be honest. Edouard had said a couple of minutes ago he's living off scraps. Edouard, he's going to be replaced in a moment after this corner by Jean-Philippe Mateta. Let's see this corner first. It's Saka with the corner. It's glanced away by Crystal Palace and by Ayew, and then launched long. Anywhere will do for Wilfried Zaha. Straight downfield to Ramsdale. Takes a touch and then launching a long clearance over towards the right-hand side. Overhit though from Ramsdale and out for a throw. Throw into Palace and a chance for them to make the first substitution of the new Premier League season. And it is the change that we expected. Odsonne Edouard is the man making way. And Jean-Philippe Mateta, former Arsenal man, coming on. Scored in this corresponding fixture last season, which Palace won comfortably 3-0 against a woeful Arsenal. You can't draw comparisons, that Arsenal to this Arsenal, because there's a chasm between that performance and this performance. They've been much, much better tonight, Arsenal. But still a game in the balance. Arsenal have been the better side and lead by a goal to nil, but Palace have had their moments. Here's Ayew, gets in front of the defender. It's cleared away quickly by Arsenal. Jesus putting pressure on Guéhi, gets away from Guéhi, no fouls as the referee. Jesus inside, Odegaard tries to play it inside once more. It deflects away off of Anderson, nearly comes to Gabriel Jesus, and Anderson got across and made the block as Jesus was opening up for a shot on goal. But they looked dangerous there, and it was Jesus that put pressure on Guéhi. It was a mistake by Guéhi. He tried to fend off Jesus instead of concentrating on going for the ball. Beautiful little ball inside by Jesus. Odegaard should have done better. It comes back to Jesus. Good block by Anderson. Corner to Arsenal. Just coming up to the hour mark. We've gone into the 60th minute of the game. It's Crystal Palace 0. It's Arsenal 1. The only goal of the game coming on 20 minutes from Martinelli. This one's been cleared by Crystal Palace. Long ball down the left-hand side, and a yellow card comes out as the Crystal Palace go-to man, Wilfried Zaha, is on his backside. It's a shirt pull from Ben White. Very slight, but absolutely right. He wasn't far away from it, Anthony Taylor. And he brings out the yellow card, and Ben White joins his teammate, Granit Xhaka, on a yellow card. And you could both put them in the pigeonhole of stupid yellow cards. That was a silly, needless shirt pull on the halfway line. When if he'd have been in position properly, Ben White, who's had a fairly good game otherwise, if he's in the right position, he wouldn't have had to pull the shirt of Zaha back. Here come Crystal Palace down the down the right-hand side with Ayew, Klein, into that big physical midfielder Decore. And the cross on the right-hand side as it enters the penalty area for Jean-Philippe Mateta is fielded well by Arsenal at the expense of a corner. Arsenal corner, just past the hour mark. Crystal Palace corner, just past the hour mark. Arsenal leading by a goal to nil. It's going to be a corner, measured in by Schlupp, headed towards goal by Henderson. And it came off of Odegaard, and it's sliced towards goal inexplicably by Gabriel. And I think it might have just come off the post. It was certainly covered by Ramsdale at his near post, but what on earth was Gabriel doing? I think he was fouled, and I think that's the reason that the ball was sliced backwards. But the outswinger comes in. Anderson hits the header, it's a similar corner rather, to the goal, and he was just pressurised from behind by Ayew, and that forced him to swing the ball back to his own goal. It's a complete slice by Gabriel. Luckily, the whistle had gone anyway, so even if he'd put it through his own net or something come of that, it wouldn't have mattered. Here's Partey off of the pass from Zinchenko. Slips it wide to the right-hand side, and Saka. Saka finding White, striding forward. Still White. Gets it wide. Saka, bit of space inside the penalty area. Floats it towards the back post. Good header away from Anderson. Here's Eze trying to clear. Manages to find Anderson again, who calmly gives it to his right full-back, Nathaniel Klein, and he launches long, the Liverpool old boy, into the Arsenal half, and Arsenal will start again with the two central defenders, Saliba and Gabriel. Here is Saliba once more, up towards the halfway line, skips past the attentions of Jean-Philippe Mateta. Now Gabriel, who just had that rocky moment a few moments ago. They've just got those rocky moments here and there, Arsenal, where you then begin to question your own mind of how good a performance was it in the opening 20 minutes, and then you see those rocky moments, 3 or 4 of them in this game. And you think, well, you know, there's a little bit of the old Arsenal there, but there's certainly a better Arsenal out there than the one that we saw in the 2021-22 season. It's back with goalkeeper Ramsdale. He's had a couple of nervy moments tonight, but he's also made a couple of splendid saves either side of half-time. Here is Ramsdale onto his left foot this time. Decides to knock long. Up by Saka up in the air. He's trying to challenge the England teammate Mitchell. And there's another yellow card coming out, and it's against Nathaniel Klein. I think it's something that Nathaniel Klein said that has forced referee Anthony Taylor to show the first yellow card of the evening to a Crystal Palace player. Nathaniel Klein is yellow carded. So Klein comes a third yellow card of the evening. And it was for a challenge on Martinelli, which was very late. The referee played on and then went over and showed the yellow. Right, it's with the Arsenal goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale. Takes a couple of steps back, rolls it onto the ground, and right-footed, strikes it effortlessly deep into the Crystal Palace half, taken down nicely by Gahey. Square of him on the right-hand side, Joachim Anderson. And Klein clears up to the halfway line. Ayew keeps the ball in a very crowded and congested area over by the technical area on the far side. It's back with Joachim Anderson, who knocks it back in turn to his goalkeeper, Vicente Gaeta. He made 30 Premier League appearances last season and mustered up a pretty impressive 11 clean sheets in the process. The Spaniard signed 5 years ago from Getafe. His contract has a 1-year option on it and does run out next summer. Throw into Crystal Palace in a left-back position. About 30 yards from their own corner flag. Spinning the ball in his right hand. Ready to take this throw is Mitchell. Mitchell, it's the feet of Mateta. Mateta back to Mitchell. He's certainly more mobile, Mateta, than Edouard Eze. To really see the best of him in this game. And then forward by Doucouré. Like what I've seen of him so far. That's why they've paid 21 million for him. And I'm still scratching my head as how Mali left him out of the African Cup of Nations, because he looks a quality prospect for Palace. It's back into the midfield with Schlupp. Schlupp leaves it for the aforementioned Doucouré, who sends it wide to Klein. Down the line to Ayew. Level with the edge of the penalty area. Faces up to Zinchenko. Back to Klein. Gets the cross in towards Mateta. Diving header away by Gabriel. The charges then on from Schlupp to try and get the ball back into the penalty area. Arsenal have bodies back and managed to clear. But Crystal Palace have it again now with Tyrick Mitchell to Zaha. Midway inside the Arsenal half. But he's got his back to goal. Hits the feet of Anderson. Squeezes it back across into the centre circle for Gahey. Back to Anderson again. Now Zaha. Zaha finding Mitchell, who drives forward. Still going down the left-hand side, trying to get the better of Ben White. Mitchell putting pressure on White. White does well, slips it inside, but it's straight to Eze. Eze then loses possession. Odegaard then unable to keep the ball. And then Saka runs into Zaha, and a free kick is given for the foul by Saka on Zaha. And that was all very scrappy. And a free kick to Crystal Palace. Arsenal masters of their own destiny really there, and had a chance to get the ball away and made a bit of a mess of it. was an error-strewn passage of play, which has ended up resulted in a Crystal Palace free kick in an area on the left-hand side, which will result in an Eze free kick into the box, but straight into Ramsdale. Gets his two gloves on the ball, drops it down, but he's quick to pounce down onto it despite the crowd around him. The Arsenal goalkeeper has distributed the ball short to Thomas Partey. Here's Partey again in the midfield. Partey hits the feet of Saliba. He's had a fairly solid game for Arsenal. Into Jesus. Again, he's dropped deep to link up. It's very Harry Kane-like, isn't it? The way that he drops back into those deep positions. Gabriel Jesus. There's no doubt he's going to score goals for Arsenal this year. He's going to make Arsenal a better team. Here's White coming forward, running inside from the halfway line, taking it on his chest, but running into Eberechi Eze. Now Doucouré. Doucouré to Eze. Eze tries to play it over to right-hand side. It hits Partey's studs and then diverts back to Klein in the right-back position. He quickly rolls it forward to Ayew. Now Klein takes over once again. Back to Anderson. First time ball from him to Guéhi. Guéhi to Mitchell. Left back. Down the line to Zaha. Zaha against White. Remember, White is now on a yellow card. That's something that Zaha will surely work on. And Zaha picks up the loose ball. It looked like a foul by Anderson on Gabriel Jesus, but no, says the referee. There's Ayew down the right-hand side for Crystal Palace. Decides to cut inside. Continues his running. Goes for the return from the scoop inside from Mateta. Never really made it back to Ayew, and Arsenal had enough bodies there again to deal with it, and they win a free kick. Xhaka goes down to ground. Another player that's on a yellow card and needs to be careful. Arsenal still leading by 1-0. They're just past the three-quarter mark. 21 minutes to go. Arsenal 1 to the good in the London derby. North London are beating South London, and they're looking for a second, and Saka's been released with a brilliant ball down the right-hand side into the penalty area. Goes for goal himself, but the shot is high and wide, not far from goal, not the greatest of angles, but really from where Saka was, a cutback was probably the more sensible option than the shot. He decided to be greedy there and took a touch too many, took it away from goal. Mitchell done a good job to track back, and Saka shot wide of target, and that was a good chance for Arsenal. And Saka, really, a man of his quality, should have done better. Either pull it back or get the shot out quicker. Here's Klein for Arsenal, for Crystal Palace, I beg your pardon, in the right back position. Back to Anderson, who's been very good at the back for Palace today. Knocks a long ball over towards the left-hand side, taken in his stride by Zaha. Zaha into the penalty area. Can he get the shot in? No, but he finds Ayew. Ayew unable to control it under pressure from Ødegaard. Ødegaard sends it back to his defender, Gabriel, who first time left-footed hooks it forward up towards the halfway line. Anderson gets a challenge in and knocks it long himself, straight onto the head of Saliba up to the halfway line. Ødegaard couldn't control. Won by Doucouré. Doucouré sends it long up towards Zaha on the left-hand side, but it runs away from Zaha and straight into the grateful hands of Aaron Ramsdale, the Arsenal goalkeeper. And with 70.5 minutes gone, it's Crystal Palace 0. Arsenal 1. Here's Guéhi, edge of his own penalty area. Back to the goalkeeper, Guaita. The Spaniard takes his time and returns it back to Guéhi. He returns it back to Guaita. Playing as if they're winning 1-0, but they are losing 1-0 here, Palace. And if they're to do something about it, they need to get the ball down the other end. Here's the midfield man, Schlupp, back to Guéhi. Long ball from him. And it's going to be chased by Mateta. It's going to be mopped up by Saliba. Back to goalkeeper Ramsdale. Little triangle between Ramsdale, Gabriel and Saliba. And then Ødegaard. Good play by Arsenal to keep the ball. Saliba once again, still on the edge of his own penalty area. Options are being squeezed by Crystal Palace. So he goes back to Ramsdale, takes a touch and then right-footed down the right-hand side. Slightly too high for Saka. Mitchell steps in and scoops it back to his goalkeeper in the penalty area, Guaita, who doesn't need to use his hands because it's a back pass. He has to bring it under control himself and knocks it long. Odegaard to Zinchenko. Zinchenko scoops it forward himself, and Ayew then gets the better of Zinchenko down the right-hand side. It's an interesting delivery. Eludes everybody. Comes out on the left-hand side for Zaha into the penalty area. Zaha goes for the shot, takes a deflection, headed away by Saliba. Nearly came back to Zaha. Does